we're going to be doing two things that you really should be able to do right now, but we haven't formally talked about them, so we're going to talk about them quickly. The first thing is graphing something that's in vertex form. We've never done that, so we're going to do that quickly. So we're going to practice graphing this equation, y equals x plus 2 squared plus 1. Everything we've graphed so far has been in standard form. So we're going to go through these. These are actually easier to graph because the vertex is right there. You don't have to do opposite of b over 2a comma plug and chug to find the vertex. The vertex is right in front of your face. It's negative 2, 1. HK. It's negative 2 because if you think about it, it's x minus negative 2 when you think about the equation being x minus h. In teenager language, you want to always take the opposite of what's next to the x. In this case, you want to take negative 2, and then you want to take exactly what's on the outside. So in this case, negative 2, positive 1 is your vertex. For this parabola, the a on the outside of the parentheses, I wrote a red 1 in there. That's what you're using for your 1357 multiplier, if that makes sense, if you remember from 5-1. And yesterday's review, those of you that were here. So it's going to be a standard 1357 parabola multiplied by 1. So 1357, boom. That's all that's involved in graphing it when it's in vertex form. You just write down the vertex straight from the problem and take your 1357. Your turn. Graph this one on your own and we'll go over the answer in a minute or so. Answer, mine looks like this. Vertex 3, negative 2. It's a standard 1357. Is everybody understanding? Yeah. And that is finding vertex form. So we're going to take something that's in standard form and we're going to turn it into vertex form. So that's going to involve basically finding the vertex, which you know is opposite of b over 2a comma plug and chug. So we have, in this case, this first one I'll do for you. Opposite of b is negative 8 over 2 is negative 4. And then we're going to plug and chug that negative 4. Negative 4 squared is 16. 16 minus 32 is negative 16. Negative 16 minus 5 is negative 21. And so my vertex is negative 4, negative 21. That's really all the work you need to do, because you can just look at it and see that a is 1. And then from there, you can just write the equation. A is 1. X plus 4 squared minus 21. If you look at the stuff I've written up in dots, this is kind of how it jives with what's on the wall. This is the A, X minus H, which is your chop into plus, and then plus K, which turns into a minus. The plus negative turns into a minus. So I'm showing you the full, when you write it out, and then how it shortens. Yes, ma'am.
What does the square have to do with this again?
Second one. Vertex negative 1, 3. A is 1. And so there's your answer. Let's move to the third topic, which is the one that's probably the most new today. Write the equation of a parabola with a vertex of 1, 2 that goes through 3, 4. And this is the one that's close to that linear question that we did when we were reviewing earlier today. Okay, I'm giving you pieces of the parabola, just like earlier today I gave you pieces of a line, and I want the equation. And you're going to see, if you're paying attention, you're going to see the similarities. In that example earlier today, we started off with a y equals mx plus b. We put in pieces, we solved for b, we wrote the equation. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to start off with a vertex form. And we're going to put in numbers for everything except a. So, knowing that, does anybody have any idea what numbers are going where? No. X is 3. H is 1, which is going to make it x minus 1. K is 2. And y is 4. According to Lois, that's what's going to happen right there. The vertex is HK. The point is XY, and she's exactly correct. Okay? So when you place those numbers in, you get that. Vertex HK, point, the point that it goes through, XY, leaving you with just A as the only variable. What do you think we're going to do now? Solve for A, find A. So you have to do a little arithmetic. You have to get the numbers right. 3 minus 1 is 2. You can check me on that. I bet I'm right. Squared is 4. Subtract the 2. Divide by 4. I get A equals 1/2. Common mistake there is kids are going to write down A equals 2. Because they're going to try to do 2 divided by 4 in their head and get 2. The vertex, the y coordinate is 2, so I replace the k with the 2.
No, I'm talking about like a little circle. Right there, yeah.
Because I just said that 3 minus 1 was 2
Oh, okay.
and squared it. So now what I'm going to do is I've got my A, just like in that linear question I had my B, and I'm going to put it into the equation with the vertex. So when I write my equation, I take my A and my vertex and I fill them in. So there's your equation. You'll notice at the bottom I have some questions though, some afterthought questions. Vertex was given in the question. Axis of symmetry, x equals the first number of the vertex. Direction of opening, this one is up. We reviewed all those yesterday. Alright, I'm going to start working through this one. Crack open a fresh and clean vertex form. Put in the values for x and y and the values for h and k. 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. Squared is 9. Subtract 4 to the left side, and then divide by 9. And I get that A is negative 1/3. Not negative 3. Negative 1/3. So my equation is negative 1/3 x plus 1 squared plus 4. My little pieces at the bottom are negative 1/4 is the vertex given in the problem. X equals negative 1. You must have the x equals when you do axis of symmetry. And down is the direction.
Why do you have to have x equals?
And then you just